find a seat. We're going to get started with the next portion of our evening, our award ceremony. Before we do so, though, we do have our Booster Club that would like to say a few words before we kick things off with Coach Chmielewski and the freshman program. So, Booster, I'm not sure who's speaking. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. My name is John Matthews. I represent the Lane Tech Basketball Booster Club Board. I'm saying that. Along with me, Amy Zur, Donna Goodhart, and Colin Scantlebury. Together, we represent your Booster Club. I want to take a quick couple of minutes, certainly to introduce ourselves or reintroduce ourselves to you, and then maybe just talk a little bit about what we do, and then a little bit about the things that the program has done this year all together, collectively with us as the board, coach representing the staff and the team, and school administration. I know Mr. Bradish is here too. Along with the 55 plus families that we have here. It all comes together every once in a while. So thank you all for your participation in it. One of the biggest responsibilities or things that we do, we spend the most time talking about is fundraising. And good news, we're not here to fundraise tonight, but we're open. So there are four main ways that we fundraise as an organization. The first one is the snap raise that we do at the very beginning of the season. Everybody participated in it. We reach out to extended friends and family and collectively raise money for the program. That's been our biggest fundraiser. The second way is summer programs. We run a few summer programs for the youth, for younger kids, K through 4, 5 through 8, I believe. And that is an opportunity where we fundraise there as well. And then, of course, the concession stand, many of whom have participated with us, thank you. And then the gate, we're walking in the door with suggested donations. Those are the four main ways. I just want to take a quick second and articulate a few of the different ways, different things that we've done with some of the fundraising proceeds from the year. The teams all played in summer leagues, fall leagues, and other shootout tournaments. So think of going down to Riverside Brookfield or Ridgewood, St. Pat's, Chase Park. These are some of the places the Booster Club was able to sponsor our teams to play in those programs. Every boy in the program wore a new tracksuit this year. The nice Nike Tech tracksuits. Game gear for the coaches. So the coaches were outfitted with a couple of new outfits for them to wear during the games. And then also compensating financial bonuses for the coaches as well. They put in a lot of time with us, with our kids, so we appreciate that. Those summer camps that we put on, they also, there's a sponsorship of it too, so there's administration of the program, insurance, t-shirts for all the kids who participate in the program, bottles of water for everybody that's there. So other things that we do to continue to promote the program at the younger levels. And then the coaches who volunteer for those summer programs are also paid. Software for the team to track stats, watch film. You like that part of it? There's a couple of special days that get put together. Media Day before the season, the Green and Gold Game, Senior Day, professional photographers for all three of those events for the kids. Battle of the Bridge is a big tournament that we host here in November. So we were able to garner some sponsorships, put together programs and banners and signage, t-shirts for all the players who participated in the program, in the event. And then we ran a hospitality suite for 4 nights for the coaches, the officials, the scorekeepers, and the security for that event. The ticketing for the Chicago Elite Classic, we helped to organize and sponsor that. The varsity and JV went on a road trip this year, went to Cleveland. And so we're sponsoring dinner for the team on Saturday night, Sunday Top Golf, Sunday's lunch, snacks for the boys on the buses, all again through the fundraising efforts of everybody here in the room. Alumni night, 300 t-shirts we gave out, Make It Matter. Those are just a couple of examples. We wanted to share with you just in full transparency so you can be aware of what all of our fundraising efforts go towards. And they're always for the betterment of the school, the program, and of course, the boys. We do it all for the boys. Hey, thank you all for taking a minute to listen.
That helps tremendously, so now I don't have to answer those questions. That's great, and I think transparency is important. A lot of what we try to do doesn't happen without fundraising that our program is able to accomplish, and we're trying to take yearly trips. We have some programs coming to play us from out of state next year. There's a lot of really good things happening in our program, but again, it all takes a collective effort. It takes a village. So again, thank you for all of that. So with all that being said, we're going to kick off our awards ceremony. Just so everyone knows kind of the run of show, how we'll do this. We'll start with our freshmen. Coach Shimalusi will come up with Coach Somerville. We'll say a few words about the season, talk about some highlights. We'll call up each player from that respective level. They'll get their award. We'll line the team up here with their award, give you a chance for a photo opportunity. The players will sit down. We'll do the individual awards. We have a few awards that we do to acknowledge a few players that really brought their games this year in different categories. And then we'll move on to the next level, from the freshman, sophomore to varsity. Just so everyone knows, the awards that we do at each level, number one, we do a captain's award that each level has respective captains that we've named as a staff that obviously embody the core values of our program and are great leaders and took that responsibility seriously. We have a Defensive Player of the Year award. Our program really hangs its hat on being tougher and smarter. That's kind of one of our mantras. And obviously at the defensive end, that's not always about skill set, it's about want to. And so we really want to make sure we acknowledge that. We also have a Most Improved Player of the Year award. That's really important to us coming into the program, understanding that skill development is paramount for us, and guys that really see growth from the start of the year to the end, we want to acknowledge that. And then we do a Coach's Award, which we leave to the discretion of each head coach of each level, and they'll kind of speak to why they're giving out that Coach's Award. And then finally, with the varsity, we also do a Senior Award, which we give to one senior that kind of best embody what we call the Lane Way, which is on the back of the program. So that's what we're doing. That's our awards process. We have a couple other special acknowledgments before we get onto the varsity, but that will be it. So with that, I will turn it over to Coach Shimalusi. Where did he go? There he is. Let's give it up, Coach, and Coach Somerville. Is this louder than the microphone? No. No, the microphone. Maybe it's sound.
Good evening. My name is Coach Chmielewski. As Coach Legalvo calls me, Coach Chmielewski. Considering it's a difficult last name, I actually go by Coach Camille. Some people call me Coach Camille. Some people call me Coach K. Once again, Coach Legalvo, since he's friends with Coach Krzyzewski. Other people call me the real Coach K. So, I didn't get a chance to say hello at parent night, so I just wanted to say a little bit about myself. Won't be long, I promise. But I was born in Poland, and until the age of 7, I moved to Canada. And I grew up in Canada. So I grew up in Canada up until my junior year of high school, where I moved to the States. Moving to the States was my dream because I wanted to play college basketball. And very fortunately, I did play college basketball at St. Xavier University. It's here in Oak Lawn, Illinois. As I teach a lot of the guys that they too themselves, if they're good students, good people, they do have a chance to play in college themselves. My playing days, I was a very good player, one of the top players in Canada. Unfortunately, things changed when I got to the States. Things got a lot more difficult. Practicing 3 days a week in Canada didn't cut it. So I can relate with the guys. When I got to high school in Texas, I was on the bench. I played JV on my junior year. My senior year, I was on the bench. Still ended up getting a partial scholarship to college for athletics and academics. Got to college, and I pretty much, for the most part, rode the bench. So I can relate. I bring this up because it is what makes me me. That I can tell all your kids all the drills not to do. So there is that. My coaching days, this is my 6th year coaching. This is my 1st year head coaching the freshmen here at Lane Tech. I was an assistant last year. Prior to that, I coached at Lincoln Park, Brother Rice. So I've been around, I've seen a few programs, and this one is by far the best that I've been a part of. So I'm super happy to say that. Parents, I'm sure if you had kids at other high schools that you can compare, but other ones that if you haven't had kids at other high schools, I'm telling you from experience that this is a supreme program. I wanted to say thanks to Coach Josh Somerville for helping us out this year. He was paramount in our weightlifting, in our practices. In addition to that, he was also helping the varsity team. So unfortunately, about halfway through the year, it got a little bit too much, waking up early, staying up late. So regardless, I'm thankful for you. Thank you very much for that. And I'm thankful for Coach Legabo for giving me this opportunity to coach here. When we sat down last year, Coach Legabo told me 2 things. He says, we want to develop our players, as he previously just said. Development is important. Competing is important. In regards to development, we had 39 basketball games this year. Okay? I'm not sure how many times we've had that many before. That was a lot of basketball. We had 39 basketball games, we had 44 practices, and prior to that, we had 11 preseason practices even. Right? Preseason open gym. So we wanted to develop them at basketball. We developed their minds. Right? A lot of positive self-talk tips we talked about. We talked about the weight room was very important. So physically being able to hold your own in the paint, or even as guards are learning these days that the game is a lot more physical than they're used to. And the other piece was the competitive part. We had an extremely competitive schedule. 40% of our games were against Catholic League schools. And I told the boys early on in the season, guys, Catholic League is the real deal. They recruit, they don't move up their freshman players. You guys are going to have a real tough time. We need to work super hard. Regardless of the record, I believe that they improved over the 3-month season, right? So I think they should be proud of that. I'm not going to say what the record was, but regardless of that, we competed. Aside from a few games, I thought that we competed every game that we played. They were within 10 points. All the parents that came up to the games, thank you. And, you know, I hope you saw some great basketball there. Finally, some 2 highlights. Our B team was the runner-up for the De La Salle tournament, a very difficult tournament. So good job, B team. And one of my favorite comebacks was in the public league tournament when we won the quarterfinal. We were down by 5 with 40 seconds, and Ronan hit 2 big 3-pointers to bring us into the semifinals. So that was finally, I'll end it off here with a little poem I wrote, and then we'll get to the name. So, although the season was riddled with defeat, our deep desire was to become elite. The path to success was through our development. Hoops, sleep, rinse, repeat, no room for entertainment. We decided that every day we must compete, only then would our journeys be complete. So thank you for listening. Thank you, parents, for all of your support. You're amazing. Thank you, guys, for a great experience. With that said, we're gonna call out names, and you're gonna come up here and get your numbers. So players, be ready. First off, our amazing manager, Oscar Craig, come on up here. Luke Sutkis. Max Trumella. Liam McCreary. Nate Hendrickson. Wilson McFadden. Shabuka Wayzegway. Zolan Wyatt. Anthony Regis, aka AJ. Mohammed Abdulrani. Keenan Valerius. Matthew Young. Aaron Tsai. Nolan Matthews. Isaac Bacchus. Kendrick Lyles Henderson. Stephen Cloud. Dean Gutman. Ronan Owens. Isaiah Betancourt, and Carter James. Max, I said your name like 3 names ago. So we're going to grab our numbers, we're going to grab a team photo, and then we are going on to our freshman awards right after that. So I'll be right back. Ensure that you are able to Alrighty. So for the award part of the ceremony, when your name is called, just come on up here, So, in terms of the B team, our defensive player of the year, he's a force in the key, force in the paint. He, I think, had 8 blocks one game. He continues to grow, continues to improve, is a great person, and doesn't even look like he's listening. Carter James, come on up here. In terms of our most improved player, I saw a picture of him 3 months ago in the green and gold game, and he was smaller. He's come leaps and bounds. He's become faster. We do a lot of statistic keeping. We do lengths, running for lengths. He improved his times by 10. He became confident as the season went on, and I'm super happy that Max Shukala was the most improved player. Our Coaches Award goes out to a player that, again, was at every practice, wanted to improve. I know he told me in his past that he hadn't had a lot of organized basketball experience. He didn't have a lot of mentorship from coaching, but he took this on. He was at every practice, getting better. He's a super likable guy, Mr. Isaiah Betancourt. And our Captain Award goes out to a gentleman that, again, got better and better. He put up some game winners, and he's somebody that we could almost not afford to have on the bench. He just needed to be in the game at all times, kept us alive, kept us energized from the offensive end, Mr. Matthew Young. For the A team, the defensive player of the year started off a little bit slower at the freshman year, but I think he took stride once we put in some offensive movement things. And he started to shine, being able to move, being able to screen, being able to take charges, not afraid, always getting back on defense, sprinting back on defense was always super valued. Mr. Keenan Valerius. Our most improved player also had a little bit of a slow start at the beginning of the season. After that, he caught fire. He barely missed any shots. He was somebody that you knew that when the ball was going up in the air, one of our 2 players that you knew when the ball was going up in the air, it was going in, Mr. Liam McCreary. Our Captain Award goes out to one of our fiercest competitors from a defensive end, from an offensive end, just always willing to compete, always willing to win, always wanting to win, and not, although sometimes not taking losing lightly, maybe one time telling off a ref. With the right reasons, Mr. Nolan Matthews. And our Coaches Award to another lights out shooter who took stride as the season went on and realized that his potential was the sky, essentially, Mr. Aaron Side. We're going to grab a quick picture, and then Mr. Liberos, Coach Liberos from the sophomore team will come on up.
Here's good to grab a picture.
Way to go.
Okay, let's give it up for our freshman team. Nice job, everybody. Congratulations on a great year. And now I'm going to turn it over to our sophomore coaches, Coach Liberos and Coach Skinner Cole. Come on now. Good job, guys. Also, players, I forgot to say beforehand, the freshmen got theirs. There are cookies with our Lane Tech logo on them for each player. But make sure you take one. Coach Camille is filming this, so we have video evidence. We're watching. All right, one cookie per. Next up, we have our sophomore coach, Coach Liberos. Let's give it up.
All right, before I start, I'd like to thank the parents more than anyone, because I know with sophomores and these late nights, I know it's tough for the kids to come home and get their studies in, do their homework that late at night. Sometimes you gotta mix around, go to a bunch of games, being the best cheerleaders for us, since we don't have that big of a fan base, since everyone leaves after varsity. I thank you guys a lot for being the loudest people in the gym. I tell my guys all the time to appreciate you guys a little more because you are our biggest fans, so thank you guys very much for that. Also like to thank Mike. He's my good cop to my bad cop. He's always helping the guys out, man. He's a really great skills trainer and a smart coach, and these kids are really lucky to have him here, man. So thank you, Mike. These 16 guys, man, they're a special group of guys this year, man. I don't know what more to say. 16 dudes that have just been completely locked in throughout the whole season. Their communication with me is awesome. Every single day in practice was more fun than the games at times. I think I'll remember those times more than the actual games. But the games we had this year were probably some of the most exciting ones, right? Thank you to Clark and Nick. Nick, your shot against Downers Grove. I went back and watched that so many times, just seeing the reaction from the varsity guys, from the guys on the bench, everyone on the floor. It was a great moment, man. Clark, you especially helping us get to a top 8 spot in the playoffs, man. Right place, right time. You're the big hustle guy, Clark, and you deserve that right there to those two guys. Our freshmen, coming out, having lots of breakout games, man, it makes our coaching staff very excited for the future. Chase had his breakout game in the green and gold game. Matt came in against Curie, a top 4, top 2 team. Adrian became a starter for us. Nico came in again with Curie and had his great moment in the last game of the season with his first dunk. So I know he wanted that all season. So again, thank you to you 16 guys for being locked in all season, man. All right, so we'll go with let's meet the team right now. So we'll start with Sean Cahill. Come on, Nate Earhart. Tyler Nagrin. Tommy Weaver. Sean Leahy. Clark Tavis. Nick Laszlo, Cam Matthews, Chase Devlin, Matt Safani, Nico Wright, Luca Pinto, Zach Mazanowski, Adrian Christensen, Brandon LeMay, Mike Rizzoli. All right, parents, we'll take pictures now.
I don't know how good it's going to be. Guys, get together. Zach. Shoot off. That's smart.
I like clapping.
Good move, guys. Good move.
All right, now we'll hand out our awards. So our first award is our Captain's Award. Whenever I assign captains, I have the team vote for it themselves because I want them to pick the people that they trust the most. And it never has to be the best person on the team, the person who gets the most playing time. It's the guys that they trust the most. And these three guys, 100%, led our team through a lot of situations. All the good, all the bad. I trusted these three guys. If those guys came to me with all their problems, and I had them sort it out themselves. They had team meetings on their own, and they worked everything out themselves maturely, and I'm so proud of them. Our three captains are Mike Rematogi, Mike Lemady, and Zach Mazanowski. Our most improved player. This is going to a guy that we knew would break out all season. We were just waiting for that moment. And when he did, he never looked back. It started up at Downers Grove, so this is going to Nick Laszlo. Defensive goes to two people this year. I always ask the guys at the beginning of the year, what are your team goals, what are your individual goals? This one guy told me that he wanted to win Defensive Player of the Year. He accomplished it. Every assignment we gave him when we had a scout, when we watched videos, we always gave him the toughest one, and he always beat that one out. I think his most proud moment was against St. Ignatius, where his assignment probably had 0 points, 2 points. Our other guy is our big man in the middle, who just instinctively blocked everything, man. These two in were a defensive lockdown for everyone. So this is going to Braden Lamatti and Nico Wright. All right, finally, Coach's Award. This award goes to someone that embodies not only the laneway, but what me and Mike are teaching, not only as a basketball player, but as a person who can walk around these hallways, and we know that, we're not gonna have to worry about him. He sets an example not only by his voice, but by his actions. And most importantly, he leads these guys, and his attitude is the same no matter what's going on. I trust this guy as well as anybody, and this is going to Nathan Urquhart.
Thank you, Davey. And after you, Liamo.
Just stand there awkwardly for a little bit longer. Just a couple more seconds. Thanks.
All right, let's give one more round of applause for our sophomores. Great season. And again, one more round of applause for our local coaches, Coach Barrows, Coach Cole, Coach Lee, Coach Twingo. Great job, these two guys. Great job. Okay, so we are going to transition, obviously, to our varsity team, but we have a few other things we want to do first. First and foremost, one of our program mantras, we have a few, and last year we adopted the Ubuntu, the Zulu tribe, the Ubuntu philosophy, the I am because we are mentality, right? The idea that this program is bigger than any one of us, and every year we try to acknowledge some pillars, some people in our program that go above and beyond for us and that serve and have a servant heart and help us do the things that we want to do. So this year we have a few people we want to acknowledge. The first is our PA announcer, our Mr. Fix-It, the guy who's behind the scenes at all of our games, helping to rack chairs, making sure he's getting the book in before the refs give us a tech before every game. My main man, Tony McHale. Let's give it up to Tony. Again, so everyone knows, this guy is really good at what he does, and it's all out of the goodness of his heart, and he's really helped our program the past, has it been 5 seasons now, Tony? 6 seasons, who's counting, right? But really appreciate everything. We got to get you more gear, but that's hopefully just a small token of our appreciation, so thank you again. Our next Ubuntu Award is something that we've really never had. This year, and I think all of you know this, especially the players that have been in our program, freshman tryouts can be a bear. We end up having sometimes upward of over 100 boys trying out for our team. It's the most competitive tryout in this building. Everyone loves basketball, but as you get to the high school setting, it's more and more competitive. And we had a young man who decided he was going to be around and just serve our program, right? Showed up to practice every day, competed, helped keep the book, just pretty much did whatever our freshman coaches needed him to do. And that's one thing when it's after school every day, but at 6 a.m., that's a lot. And he showed up every day, and that award goes to Oscar Craig. Come on. Okay, and we have one more, and obviously I think this guy knows it's coming. I had to coerce him to get here tonight in class and really stressed how important it was that he was here tonight, but we all know what Alex has done for our program, I don't want to talk too long. Coach has had some bets on what coach was going to cry first, and if I start talking about Alex, I might get a little teared up, but he was still in 8th grade. When I was still the athletic director, I got an email from him in 8th grade asking me for the next year football team's roster. He wasn't even enrolled here, and he was already on it. I met him before school got out, before he was a freshman. He was on our campus already getting a feel for Lane Stadium, getting a feel for the gym, and he told me what his vision was. He told me what he wanted to do, and I'll say this, a lot of people will say they want to do things, but Alex has done everything and then some, and he showed up to everything. I can't tell you how many coaches are like, who is this kid calling me trying to get all of our rosters, all of our stats? He's like, you got like extra scouts working for you? I'm like, no, he's our broadcaster. And the positive was I did get some dirt on other teams from Alex, but you let everyone know all about us too, man. Right? So thanks a lot. But no, I know that during COVID, I said this before, a lot of our families couldn't, You guys have to understand what our gym was like during COVID. That season, there's no one in the gym. It was very, very different. And Alex was here. We somehow got CPS to approve it. He was here broadcasting the games, and he gave our families a chance to kind of get through that time watching their sons play basketball. And I'll never forget that. So thank you. I could keep going, but we did put a little tribute together, so I want to show that to everybody right now. So let's get going with that before I start crying. Hold on.
Lane Tech basketball is on the air.
My name's Alex Burstein. Join us, my name's Alex Burstein above midcourt. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Alex Burstein. Thank you for joining us. My name's Alex Burstein above midcourt. For joining us, my name's Alex Burstein above midcourt here at Lane Tech.
Hey Alex, just want to take the time to congratulate you on these last 4 years of being the voice of Lane Tech Athletics. You managed to create a whole new genre of covering tech sports, and it was amazing to see. Wishing you all the best for the next 4 years in college and in the future. I know you're going to be amazing whatever you do. Go win.
Alex, I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody when I say that you blew us away with your professionalism and confidence when you first came out as a freshman. You getting to see your work ethic firsthand, meeting you and respect. All of it for our relationship and getting to speak to you off the court really opening me up to a new perspective as a player. My favorite memory definitely has to be looking back at some of our games, especially the Child League Classic, and really listening to you set the tone and the atmosphere off the court, which is something I really appreciate, and of course you always deliver. Watching you come in at a high level and still rapidly growing throughout your 4 years has been something amazing to watch, and you really changed Lane Tech basketball for now and for the future as the media team keeps rising. You've done so much for Lane Tech basketball and more. We're grateful for you.
Best commentator in all of high school basketball. I just want to say thank you for all you've done for the morning program. Really appreciate that you showed up to every game so well prepared, especially this year as I watched the games live from my dorm room. Best of luck in college, and I hope that I can continue to watch you and listen to your broadcast at the next school.
Hi Alex, I want to congratulate you on your 4 years as the voice for Lane Tech basketball. You've done a tremendous job being a commentator. You did a great job with researching the players and having your information ready for each game. You're always putting in the work. I know you're going to do great things in the future. My favorite memory is when you called our Thanksgiving tournament game against Notre Dame. That's a moment that will stay with me forever. And I wish you luck on your next journey, and I'm hoping to see you on TV in the coming future. Best of luck.
Hey Alex, I want to congratulate you on your 4 years at Lane Tech. I know a lot of people enjoy listening to you commentating on the games, and I just want to say you did a phenomenal job. I would say my favorite memory was when you commentated on my first in-game dunk. It was a very special moment for me, and just hearing how excited you got for it really meant a lot. I can't believe that you're already a senior, and I know that you'll continue to do great things in college, wherever that may be. I hope you continue to follow your dreams and continue to believe in yourself. Wish you the best of luck on the next 4. Congrats, Alex.
Hey Alex, it's Lewis. Good to congratulate you on 4 years of covering Lane Tech hoops. I can remember you coming in one of our first practices, full suit and tie, and I, wondering, who is this kid? The more I got to meet you, the more I got to hear about you, the more I, understand how good of a guy you were. I was always going back, listening to your calls, kind of seeing the game from a different angle. And I can remember one of my favorite calls against OPRF in the state semifinal. End of the third quarter, I think we went on a 10-12-0 run, and I had a deep 3 at the end of the third. The crowd went crazy. I remember your call was awesome, and it really put a smile on my face. But I'm sure you're going to do even bigger things, cover even better teams. The sky's the limit for you, kid. Congratulations, and happy senior night.
Congratulations, Alex, on your 4-year career at Lane. I know that wherever you end up next year, you're going to do great. There's endless opportunities coming your way. Glad you got closer these past 4 years. You had a Cleveland trip, staying in St. Louis, and watching some wild card NFL games. Really brought us closer together. I'm looking forward to 10 years from now watching this Cleveland primetime game and hearing your broadcasting.
Thank you, Alex. Our school really knows we have some broadcast on the game, so just for that dedication towards us, really thankful for that. My favorite moment actually, Alex, is probably when I got my first job against Alex for my sophomore year. I remember running into Coach Peter for it, put it on my social media, and he was just going crazy and hyping me up, so I really appreciate that.
Alex, my man, can't thank you enough for your commitment to our program and to all the Lane Tech Athletics programs in the past 4 years. Really 5, started in 8th grade, hunting me down, trying to get stats for the next season. But your legacy will be felt long after you're gone. You set the standard for what it means to be in the sports and communications industry with what we're trying to do with our school and letting people know what's going on. I think back in the past few years, and you know, my family getting to watch our games, and they couldn't be here with the young families and the kids. They got to watch their dad coach and their team play because of you. During COVID, you had an outlet for all of us. A lot of our players' families who couldn't come to the game got to experience that season because of you. So it doesn't go unnoticed. I know there's bright things in your future. And just remember where you came from and always family. Thanks, Alex.
And so, Alex, all of that to say, we are so grateful for all that you've done to promote Lane Tech athletics through your bursting broadcast and other things that you've written to help promote our athletic program and bring it out to the community so that they can follow what's going on. Irreplaceable, Alex, so thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming up, and we got a little gift for you. All right, so obviously we want to get going with our evening here. We have a few more things we need to do. Before we get to acknowledging the season that our varsity team had, we would obviously be very remiss if we did not acknowledge another very important part of our program, a part of our program that, you know, makes sure that we're able to function the way we do. And I know that if you were at a game this year, especially a varsity game, you saw all that goes in behind the scenes with what our manager team does. We have 11 managers, and they're all different age levels, right? From seniors down to freshmen. And we've created a pretty cool culture. We try to get our seniors training our juniors, training our sophomores, training our freshmen. Keeping the books, filming our games, helping with concessions, helping set up, just pretty much anything we need for our program, they're there. So I'm going to call all 11 of you up. I know there's 6 of you here tonight, but I'm going to call everyone's name up. We'll come up and get our photo. There should be letters there, and then 2 of them have the manager pin. Those are for our senior managers, Sarah and Maddie. So let's give a big round of applause. I'm going to call up all of our managers here. We have senior manager Sarah Martirano. Senior manager Maddie Downtown. He's going to do tonight. Applause. And then we have the rest of our manager crew. We have Sweetie Cortez, Olivia Malone, Brooklyn Morgan, Isabel Maloney, Alina Perez, Samaya Larkins, Layla Wynn, Ava Corolla, and Karen Valdez. Guys, Sarah takes all the photos for our team, but someone make sure we get a manager photo, please, so we can get that posted. Coach along the way, but you want to get one for Instagram, please? They're all going on Instagram. You pretty much post anyway, you know what's going on there. So. Okay, let's give a big round of applause. Okay, so we're going to get started talking about our varsity team. There's two other people that I acknowledged earlier that we gotta make sure we acknowledge. Both Aaron Gorilla, Lane Tech alum, who captured a lot of photos and videos for this year, and then Sam Belansky, who's a Lane Tech junior, who's doing really big things with his own productions and his brand. So really want to give them both a big shout out. And Sam actually put this little 2-minute hype video together to kind of see some highlights from our varsity season, and then we'll get into it. So, you know, before I'm going to jump into our season, but I do want to say a few quick things. When I went to school here, I didn't even introduce myself. My name's Nick Gallo. I'm our head varsity coach. I went to school here and I played here. And when I was here and I was playing in this building, this did not exist, right? And what we're doing in our program right now did not exist, right? And I remember I played some college ball and I came back right away, kind of happened, whatever, the stars aligned, I ended up back here at 22. And by 25, somehow, magically, the job opened up and I was this program's next head coach at 25 years old. I started dating my now wife the same week and started grad school the same week. It was a very overwhelming, transformative time in my life, to say the least. But the point of all that is, I remember at 25, sitting down and trying to map out, like, what could a 5-year plan look like for this program? What could a 10-year plan look like for this program? What could, I know I was 25, what could a 20-year plan look like? I'm in year 18 now. And one of the things, and again, Coach Camille alluded to me going to Duke camp as a 22-year-old. I went to St. Helens where Coach K went to school. So since I was 5 years old, the idea that maybe I could be like Coach K one day was always kind of a dream. And I know there's not a lot of Duke fans here, so we're gonna leave that alone. But my point is, for my college graduation, my parents flew me out to Duke University to go to Coach K's coaches clinic. I spent all my graduation money in the bookstore, and I showed up the first one at Cameron Indoor Stadium with bags and bags of Duke gear. Whatever. It was embarrassing, but whatever. And I got to know a guy, and he got me in working their camp. And I worked their camp for 15 years. And I remember when I walked in, the culture there was like you could breathe it, you could feel it. It was a living thing. And one of the things they did to perpetuate their culture was Coach K's wife and his 3 daughters put together videos like this for their team every year, right? And I remember, again, technology is very different from 20 years ago, but I was like, how can we get Lane Tech to create videos that captures the raw emotion of the players like that? Well, we're getting close-ups of their faces. We're seeing their passions, right? And then there's so many little things that, like, that video showed. Anytime a player was on the floor, our teammates are there to pick them up. That's one of our pillars. You will never see a player get knocked down and not get picked up by his teammate. Some people don't understand that, and to an average person coming to watch our games, they don't see that. But that's something we preach. That's taught. That is instilled. And my hope is that these young men, when they leave our program, when they're playing pickup when they're 40, they're doing the same thing, because that's what good people do, right? And I have goosebumps right now, to watch this video right now, to get to a place where we have students in this building taking the time to serve our program, to do something like this is really special to me. And it should be to all of us. So, with that, I just wanted to start that this program is bigger than any one of us.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to give out our varsity awards. We have a few other closing remarks, our senior speech, and then we will be done with the evening. So first up, with our varsity team, obviously, I think every young man on our team this year brought something different to the table. We competed every day in practice. We went at each other every day, and we let it all out. Those guys really played hard for each other, and I was really proud of the group. But ultimately, there were a few young men that stood out in terms of the categories that we give our awards. And I'm not going to give you your awards. You don't sit down. Thank you. All right. So, first up, we have our three captains. We have senior Jack Sewell, junior Shahid Salivo, and junior Parker Williams. Come on down, guys. All three of these young men led this way, led the season in their own way. Obviously, Jack, being a returning senior, obviously was one of the vocal leaders of the group and was a guy that I always leaned on to talk to, just get a pulse on the team. Parker really led by example this year in a lot of ways. He was the first one in the weight room, really showed the guys what hard work looked like on a daily basis, really pushed his body to the limits. And obviously, Shahid led on the floor in a lot of ways with his gameplay, but also really maturing as a leader throughout this season, taking ownership of the locker room, especially in some really big games for us. So let's give it up for our three captains one more time. Next up, we have our Most Improved Player of the Year award, and that goes to junior Jackson Lapkin. Obviously, we were very surprised. Jackson came to us from another school this year and really came right in and just bought into everything we were about. Obviously, when you have someone coming into the fold, you're always wondering as a coach how everything's going to develop, and he fit right in. He bought into our program, into our culture. He worked hard and earned his teammates' respect. And really, I would say from like mid-December on, Jackson really turned a corner and didn't look back. So really excited about his senior season. Let's give it up for Jackson. Next up, our Defensive Player of the Year award goes to sophomore Dalton Scantleberry, who is maxing that cookie right now. So when you have a sophomore coming up, and Dalton obviously has some size, and trying to figure out how we were going to utilize Dalton's talents, which he has many. You know, being a big who can defend, I'm not trying to get super nerdy with ball screen, with basketball terminology, but having a big that can guard ball screens in a multitude of ways really allows us as coaches to game plan and strategize and do different things. And Dalton, after our first game where we really sat down and talked through ball screen coverages with him, really took it to a whole other level. And he controlled the floor for us, he led our team with blocks and rebounds, and really was our anchor of our defense. So really give it up to him one more time. Dalton Scantleberry. Our coach award this year, you know, every year it's a little different, but we wanted to give it to someone that we felt just embodied hard work and just backed up what he said he was going to do. And that is senior Lorenzo Aquino. Zoe put in a lot of work from the end of his sophomore year to now, and the player he's become. I'm gonna say it, and hopefully some of you will take this as a challenge, but Zoe's the best shooter that we've had in this program since I've been here. And that wasn't something that just happened. Zoe put in work. Zoe was in the gym every day. Zoe is probably gonna go to the gym after this to get shots up and to work out. He truly loves the game, and I think that was personified. Before our state playoff game, we didn't play till 7:30 at night. We had a shoot around in the gym. All the players went to get food. I didn't want to get in their uniforms just yet because I don't want to sweat it up. And Zoe was in like his button-down khakis and street shoes and just sweating, just working out, getting shots up by himself. 3:30 in the afternoon before 7:30 game, because that's just what he does. So again, let's give it up one more time for the Lawrence team. And finally, we have our senior award. The senior award for me is the award that we give to the senior that best embodies what we define as the Lane Way. Sorry to be super nerdy, but we have it defined, so I'm going to read it to you. And this is the last thing I have to say, I promise. So, the Lane Way is defined by doing things the right way every time, even when nobody's watching. It is founded on a pride in being a part of something bigger than oneself, and on a belief that our athletics program is truly a family. We believe that the Lane Way goes beyond athletics and applies to all facets of life. The Lane Way means being character-driven and living with integrity. It means upholding the highest of standards and being leaders in our school community and the communities we represent outside of Lane Tech. Finally, it is about understanding that our athletics program is building for eternity, and that all the players that wear a Lane Tech uniform will always belong to our family and will represent the school of champions, not only during their time here at Lane, but also in their post-secondary endeavors and beyond. I hope that one day you guys actually read that and think about what that means, because you all are going to be living proof of that one day. Most of you could care less right now, and that's okay. So, with that being said, I am pleased to give that award to our senior captain, Jack Sewer. Again, photo opportunity time. We've given out our awards, so if you guys want to slide over there with Sarah and get one more group shot. Okay, let's give him one more round of applause. So it is tradition in our program. Every year we have our senior captain say a few words about what this program has meant to him. So with that, we have our senior captain, Jack, who has a few words prepared. Let's give it up for Jack.
More rock!
He asked me if he has to hold it. So yes.
Eye contact. All right. Honestly, I haven't fully processed. It's truly over. 4 years come and gone, and they truly have gone by so quick. There are countless memories that I have over these past 4 years, but one that I'll never forget is actually came before my time at Lane. I think it was about 5th grade or so, and my dad and I came to a game. We were playing Jones. We showed up early, and the gym was already packed. We had to go all the way up to the top of the bleachers to find seats, and the whole game, everybody was just into it. It was an electric environment, and I knew from that moment on that that was where I wanted to be. That was where I wanted to play. So playing here is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Not many things beat running out of the tunnel, Coach Galbo, fist bump, hearing the band play, warming up for 20 minutes for like the longest time, getting ready for a game. And to all the players sitting back there and still have another year left, enjoy every second, because I promise you when it's gone, you'll do anything to get it back. It's a special time. Galbo was saying earlier about how this team went through a lot of ups and downs.
But through all those ups and downs, we stayed connected. This year's group of guys was really special, honestly. You know, a lot of younger guys, 5 seniors, and I really feel like we clicked in a way that's very unique. You know, age did not matter at all. You know, everybody was friends with everybody. It didn't matter if you were a sophomore. It didn't matter if you were a senior. The first time I really felt that click was when we went to go see Black Panther. You know, the bus ride there, sitting, spending the day in the movie theater with each other. You know, as much as it would suck when we had a home game, it was scheduled for 5 and the team wouldn't show up till 5:30. You know, it was just fun to be able to sit in the locker room with those guys and be able to just talk, you know, listen to music, just have a good time, hang out. Oh, the trip to Cleveland also, it was a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to that for 4 years now. My freshman year got canceled because of the snowstorm, and then the past 2 years didn't happen because of COVID. But honestly, I remember more about what happened off the court than what actually happened on the court. I know we won the game and all that, but what I'll truly remember from that trip is the time we spent on the bus, the time we spent getting food, hanging out in the hotel, going to Topgolf, beating you. You know, that's just times you're gonna look back on and cherish, even more than what happens on the court. So to those younger guys out there, like I said, just cherish it. You know, specifically to my teammates back there, I love you guys. You guys we had some great laughs, some tough cries for sure, some tough games, tough losses. But you know, through all these ups and downs, there's really no one else I'd rather go through it with, because you guys were a special group of guys. You know, I wanted to thank all the coaches, Coach Camille, Coach Mike, Coach Liberos, Coach Villanueva, Coach Somerville, Coach Jackson, Coach Walker, and finally Coach Legalvo. Each one of you have done something for me personally and for every one of those guys sitting out there to make us not only a better player, but a better person in general. And speaking on behalf of everybody, I know that we are forever grateful for the sacrifices you make for us. You know, we know it's not easy. You know, you guys have other stuff going on, but you take time out of your day to come spend time with us, make us better players, make us better people. And lastly, I want to thank my family. They're right there. My sister Sydney, who's on her phone. My mom, my dad. I'm really not the person I am today without you guys. Every day you guys make me better. I really don't know where I'd be without you guys. Definitely not right here. You know, you push me to be the best version of myself, and you know, there's stuff that I've learned that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. So love you guys. Lastly, just the culture here it's one of a kind. You know, you hear a lot about brotherhood, and it truly is a brotherhood, because during the season, during those months from November to February or March, you're spending more time with your teammates than you are at home with your family. You know, you're at school all day, then you go to practice after school. You have practice before school. And even if you don't want to, you're forced to love these guys, because there's no other option. It's this or you're miserable, so you might as well make the best of it, right? But no, playing tech basketball is truly a family, and it will be my family forever. Thank you.
All right. The tissues or what, man? Sheesh. Great job, Jack. That was powerful, brother. Thank you. So I just want to wrap up the evening. I hope everyone's enjoyed themselves. I told security to be out here by 8. It is 7:59. Talk about a practice plan, huh? So I just want to close with this, a few quick things. Number one, one thing that I make sure I do, it's tradition. I have to make sure I do it, because I think, to Jack's point, you know, our coaches, all of us, like, we really love what we get to do. We're very honored and humbled to be at such a prestigious place getting to coach the game we love, being in the place to help young men through the game that we love. It's our callings. Everyone here is doing it because we love it. But I'm going to speak on behalf of all the coaches. We wouldn't be able to do this without the support of our families. You know, I think we talked a lot about everyone here and the support players have. I know my wife's homesick right now. You know, hopefully not strep throat with 3 kids, beating her up, asking her for milk, not letting her rest, so I can be here. And that's been all year, and that's been 18 years. And I just really appreciate her and our kids. And I think some of you saw the night my 2 kids came to the game. My wife was in grad school on Tuesday nights, and I had 2 kids behind the bench. Tony, Mikhail got him cookies, you know, like had to keep him busy. My son tried to run on the court during the game. She almost ran him over. So it takes a village, you know, and I know Coach Jackson, his wife and kids are here tonight, and Coach Walker's family is usually here, Coach Jackson. We all have things, Coach Emile and Coach Skinner Cole with his daughter here, and Coach Liberos and Coach Villanueva has families, and we all have people in our lives that we have to be away from to be here. And with that being said, we want to make sure we thank them. Finally, I want to just close with this, you know, to all of the seniors, the 5 of you, thank you. You know how much I appreciate all of you, but also like your resiliency and what you've endured in your time here. Like, no one here had to do what you guys had to do, dealing with the global pandemic right in the middle of your high school careers. I remember, like, a lot of you don't understand what we had to do during that time. We had to do virtual workouts, 6 a.m. in the snow, getting these guys out of their computers, right, to lead workouts to keep them in shape when and if our season happened. Nobody knew what was going on. And all those guys, everyone that's here, they showed up. Some of them didn't turn their screens on, I get it, but it was 6 a.m., I get it, but they were there, right? We were dealing with social injustice, which we still are. We were dealing with so many things. And these guys, we got together and we talked and we spent time. To all of you seniors, you know, I'll never forget that time. And I hope we all kind of took something from it, but I appreciate all of you very much. And I wish you the best and know that we're always here for you. So let's give it up for our seniors. And then finally, in closing, to all of our returning players next year, we have a meeting next week, Wednesday, a week from today, after school. Location is TBD. We're going to talk about our off-season schedule, our weights, our open gym, all that good stuff, what you're doing with travel or AAU, and then our summer session, which begins Monday, June 5th. So we have 25 contact days. We will use all of them. Just so all of you know up front, June, they're with us. July, if they're playing travel or AAU, that's that. August is a dead period. We cannot work with them in August, so that's the time. Trying to plan vacation, I encourage you to try to do so. Again, none of this is mandatory, but it does help, obviously, to be completely transparent. There were 20 freshmen, there were 16 sophomores, and there were 17 guys on the varsity and 5 graduated. It's not fun to have those conversations in November, but that's the reality. So the work we do now matters, and there are guys already working, so we will start the week of March 20th with our off-season conditioning. So let's make sure we get after it, okay? Everyone have a great night. Thank you for all your help. And players, before we go, just like we do, all the round tables and chairs need to be wrapped. I was not kidding. Okay? Everyone have a wonderful night. Thank you.